Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 1. What an ugly game, but we come away with a point. Welcome to the player ratings. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Oh my God, my hair's a mess. Wherever in the world you are, whatever time of day you're watching this, hope you're having a fantastic day. And welcome to the player ratings on the back of Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 1. I think it is safe to say that they are, without a shadow of a doubt, turning into the most annoying, pain in the ass, ugly mother team I've ever seen. I'm talking about Bournemouth here, by the way. And, you know, in the cold light of day, I've walked it off for 5 minutes, and you got to say, we grinded out a result. It was an Italian job, a Forest job. It definitely wasn't a Wood job. But we come away with the point. We shove Bournemouth down where they belong, into the relegation zone. That puts a smile on my face. But let's be real, the performance was shambolic at times, especially in that first half. It was bad, man. It was bad. We started well for 10 minutes. We got the goal. Well, the goal. And then, of course, Bournemouth paying off the officials because they have no money anyway to spend on transfers. They just about can afford to pay off officials. That's exactly what they did as it was given as offside. Look, half of Boly was onside. The other half was off. So I'd say 51% onside for me. But anyway, and then Yates heads it in. And then as soon as that was disallowed, the game just went flat from a Forest perspective. Really flat, really ugly, just like the stadium, just like the city or town, whatever Bournemouth is. It was ugly the whole game. Bournemouth then get a goal. We'll talk about the goal in more details. For me, there's a lot of blame to lie on a lot of players on that one. It was not great. Lodi getting outpaced on the wing, which shocked me, and Worral is atrocious at getting across his man. And then Hennessey going down to his right like he's in goddamn slow motion. Anyway, halftime comes. Yates goes off injured. Danilo, I've got to say, looks fantastic. I really was impressed with what we saw from him today. And the game, it was crying out for substitutions at halftime. And as always, Cooper will not react until the 60th minute, and his reaction is to do what he only knows to do, which is sub Mangala off for someone. And that's exactly what happened. Look, luckily, it was Scarpa that came on, and Scarpa did, in my opinion, change that game. He was playing a bit deeper. He was controlling the game really well from that midfield. And then we eventually ground them down with a lovely little dinks ball over the top from MG Dub, who I thought played well all game. Over the top of the defense into Jono, and Jono looked up and crossed it, and Surridge had a tap in from about 5 yards out. It was ugly. There's no way of denying it. But what I will say is this: we got away with a point out of it, and probably 3 or 4 months ago, that's the kind of game where we wouldn't have been able to fight back. And I think, for me, I'm just going to say it now, Danilo and Scarpa need to be names that are top of the list, man, when it comes to that team sheet. I thought Chris Wood, I sat on the fence a long time for him. English Lion, thank you so much for subscribing. I've got to say, Chris Wood, Newcastle fans weren't lying when they were saying Deadwood. I mean, he was played out of position, I'll grant you that. He didn't get into the game. He's so goddamn slow. It's like watching Weghorst, man. It's like the New Zealand version of Weghorst. Who's slower out of those two? I don't know. But god damn it. Anyway. Yeah, he couldn't see the wood from the trees, Ian. Not bad. The puns keep on coming with Chris Wood. Okay, let's get into the player ratings. Before we do, as always, guys, there's like, what, over 200 of you already in here? And 27 likes. You know what I'm going to say? Don't make me say it. Don't make me I'm bringing the graphic on. Please hit that like button if you would be so kind. If you are new here, subscribe to the channel, and members, start thinking about your player ratings, because we'll be shouting out the members' scores as we get into the player ratings. Let's jump over to the player ratings screen and let's begin. Let's start, as we always do, from the back, and keep that. I've got the live subscriber count there, so keep that ticking over nicely. For those of you coming in, make sure you vote, and we'll talk about the granddad. Guys, how did you feel about Grandad Hennessey? He didn't make a stinker like he did against Man United, against Blackpool and what have you. But I'm sorry, he's at fault for that goal. He was too slow to get down to his right-hand side. Really slow, man. I thought someone had put the TV into slow motion. It's just there wasn't huge clangers, but he's definitely, I'd give him at least 40% responsibility on the goal. And for me, one thing I've learned from today is we need another goalkeeper. Please, Cooper, Greek father, Marinakis, if you're listening, sign up, as Ant called him, Likovic, the Croatian. 10 million euros is an absolute bargain for him. Let's get in him. We all know Hendo isn't going to just be out for 4 weeks because the medical staff have been near him. We know he's out for at least 2 months. So please, as a priority, first thing on the agenda on your Monday morning meeting is Likovic. Get him in straight away, please. Okay, for me, Hennessey, not his worst game, but still crap. I'm going to give him a 5. For me, Hennessey is a 5. Look, nothing against the guy. He's, older than me because I'm only 21, but he's not good enough. I'm going to give him a 5, man. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'm going to start with Martin giving him a 6, George giving him a 4. If you want your score read out, just click on the link that's pinned in the chat. Become a member. It's only 99p and you get so many perks with it. This is the best Forest channel on YouTube by a mile. The most viewed Forest fan channel on YouTube by a mile. So thank you to all of you who are becoming members and just subscribing. We really do appreciate it. Shabazz giving him a 4. JP a 6. 2 from David. And Chock-a-Block is talking to someone else. 4 from Phil. 5 from Chris. 5 from Gabriel. Simon F giving him a 5. 5 from Tim. Curtis saying he wasn't as bad as I thought he was going to be. Yeah, sometimes when you just think something's going to be bad and it's not, you're almost relieved rather than pleased. Nick giving him a 3. Richard saying, he convinced me today we need to go in for a new goalkeeper. I fully agree. Will giving him a 4. Simon really happy with the result. Martin saying we want Licky Vicky. Southpaw saying we need a goalkeeper. A lot of you saying we need a goalkeeper. Chock-a-Block 4. Sean giving him a 4. Mark giving him a 5. Richard going 0. Bill saying Licky Vicky with the ant emoji. We all know what that name came from. And then James and Mark both giving him a 6. Sharky giving him a 6. Peter giving him a 5. Hopefully I haven't missed anyone. Chris giving him a 5 as well. There's so many members now. I'm sorry. It used to be easy when there was like 2 of you. Now we've got like 250 of you. It's crazy. Thank you all so much for your support. So we'll give him a 5. Let me just update the mini board for anyone coming in late. So if they want to catch up, they'll be able to see what we've rated him as. If I do that, whoops. Okay, he's definitely not getting a 9. My God. All right, let's move on to Aurier. I love Aurier. Before all of you start slating me, I'm sorry, he was shocking today. And I'm going to use the word shocking. And I'm struggling to get that word out of my mouth and linking it to Aurier. Like, he couldn't even keep the ball in play. The amount of times he was trying to control the ball, it was like watching Owoni at times, man. And he was just shinning it off in for a throw-in. Poor tackling, poor passing. Maybe he's played too many games. Don't know. But I don't know if you guys agree with me. But I'm just like hoping. I'm hoping it's just a one-off. Write it off. He caught the boring mouth bug. He was probably surprised that he had to go and play in such a shit stadium. A stadium that is only fit. I tell you, where I play... Michelle, thank you so much for subscribing. Where I play my football for my under 12s team, I don't play for them, obviously, before any of you weirdos start commenting. But we have a better pitch than Boring Mouth do, man. And I think that was the problem of Aurier today. He's like, this team and this pitch and this stadium is beneath me. And I'm going to save myself for the Man U game. I can't score him high. I've got to be straight. As much as I love him, I've got to try and be objective. He had to be taken off. I'm giving him a 3. I really thought he was poor. So I'm giving him a 3. I'm sorry. It's a 3 for me. And remember, when it comes to Aurier, I hold him at a higher standard because he's so good. That's all I'm saying. But maybe you guys agree, maybe you don't. Let me see what you lot are saying. Let me scroll up. Martin giving him a 4. Immortal Wolf a 5. 3 from David. 3 from Tim. Southpaw saying just an off day. 4 from Gabriel. Nick saying a shocker at 2. Peter giving him a 5. Chris giving him a 3. 5 from Phil. The match commentators crucified Aurier, said Mark. 3 from Keith. 5 from Paul. 2.5 from Sean. 3 from Chris. 4.5 from Phil. 4 from Mark. Phil, that's too generous of you. Thank you so much for the 199 super chat. You absolute legend. Thank you so much for the support. To all of you, just thank you for being here and just making watching football fun, even when it was as shit as that. Mark giving him a 4. James saying Aurier awful today. Positional sense was amateurish. 4 from Choco-Block. 5 from Southpaw. 5 from Richard. 4 from Simon. Lynn's giving him a 4.5. 4 from Chimp. 4 from Gerard. 3 from Sharky. 4 from Ian. 3 from Will. My God, I love how many members. I love this community. Forrest Ant giving him 4, saying hope it's a 1 off. And I think we finish with Richard with Aurier with a 1. Wow. So, defensively, I don't think we were too great with certain players. Let's just I can't believe it. This is the first time I think he scored below like an 8. Which is absolutely crazy. Unreal. Let's move on to Worral. And I've got some serious concern. I've said it since the start of the season. When it comes to Worral, I think he's not Premier League level. I'm saying it straight, guys. And I know there's Worral fanboys and happy clappers and what have you, but I gotta say it straight. He's not Premier League level. And over the last few games, he has been decent because Aurier has been decent and done a lot of covering for him. Simon F. Need to do a poll for player rating, save my voice, isn't it? That screaming at the end absolutely killed me. Let me have a little sip. Let me have a quick sip. All right, we're all good. We're all good now. I just don't think it's Premier League level. And the sooner Niakate is fit, the sooner Boly can go onto the right-hand side and Niakate can go into the left. I'm hoping that will be for the Leeds game at the City Ground. But overall, man, I just and it shows because Aurier had a bad game today. Worral, in turn, had a bad game. He was atrocious on the goal. He should have got across his man. It was poor anticipation, and he hasn't got the pace to recover it either. I don't know what to rate him. I don't know. Ant was saying he made some good clearances. I tend to disagree with what Ant was saying. I think he was just crap today, and I think he would probably admit to it as well. Was he better than Aurier? Probably. Aurier was probably the worst player on the pitch. I can't believe I'm saying that. Those words really come out of my mouth. I'm going to give Worral a 4. This is a 4. Did that work? Yes, it did. All right, let's shout out your scores. Let's see if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying. Let's just update that one. Let me scroll up. And my God, there's so many members. Love it. Love you guys. Okay, where are we? All right, so those are the Surge ones. Done that one. Martin giving Worral a 5. Phil giving Worral a 5. Jan giving Aurier a 2. David giving Worral a 2. 2 from Sharky. 4 from Gabrielle. 3.5 from Nick. 4 from Chris. 5 from Sean. 3 from Peter. Southpaw saying Wood was limp today, but was played way out of position. We'll talk about Wood in a second. Daniel Thamuk, thank you so much for becoming a Super Red Buddy. Get your player ratings into the chat. And don't forget, as always, we will do the man in the match together, including members and non-members. We'll put a poll up for the 4 candidates, if we can find 4 candidates, and we'll do it together. Choco-Block giving him a 4. Mark giving him a 5. One really good challenge in our own box. Jan giving Worral a 3. 5 from Phil. Shabazz saying it saddens me, giving Worral a 2. JP saying Worral was a 7 today. Bloody hell, would have been an 8. I don't agree with you, JP, but you are, as always, welcome to your opinion on this channel. Richard giving him a 4. Ian saying, I love what he did for us last season, but I'm tired of giving him a pass because of it. The rest of the team having to carry him. I think that's a solid point. James saying, correct, Wolfman, he's championship level. That's the cold hard truth. 4. Mark giving him a 3.5. Joe did nothing but shadow the striker for the goal. Love him as I do, says Keith. Chris giving him a 5. 2 from David. 5 from Tim. Southpaw saying Worral made a good save at the near post, but overall not prem quality. And Walking Boom says low scores for me because he couldn't beat a trash team. That's going to be bottom. Fair enough. Can't argue with that. Phil saying we still need a quick defender. Was as a 3 from Will. Gerard saying 6 for the effort, but not without its scares. JP said Worral had a good game. What game are you watching? Bro, go look back at the goal. He's completely at fault for it. Ian's giving him a 2. Southpaw saying 5. Chimp saying, Jesus, I just seen someone comment in the highlights video for the game saying, get MG Dub to a big club. Okay. 5 from Ant. Stop to certain goal. Martin saying Boly off the pace. 5. My God, he's already on Boly. And Newcastle playing in the Saudi away kit today. All right, let's move on to Boly. I mean, Boly was all right. Hold on, let me just sort my things out here. You know what? I can't really remember Boly in the game. Did he do anything too much? I am literally struggling here. I'm going to defer Boly straight to you guys. Because did he make any major mistakes? No. He's just huge. I don't know. I'm going to just go. I'll be straight with you guys. I can't remember much of Boly. I can't remember. I'm going to go straight shouting your guys out, and then I'm going to pick an average from it. A rough maths average from it. 6 from Phil. George saying a 6. 6.5 from Tim. Boly lost a little sharpness, but a 5. Sean giving him a 6.5. 6 from Chris. 5 from David. 5 from Nick. 6 from Shanghai Noon. Jan with a 5. Chris saying good game from Boly. 7. JP saying 5 from Boly. JP, you're going against their trend. Most of them gave Boly higher than Worral. Interesting though. Interesting. That's what I love about this. All different opinions. We can discuss it away. Chocolate giving him a 6. Best defender today. Stoney saying I don't fucking know anymore. Peter saying 4 for Boly. Boly should have cleared the goal before it got to Worral. 4 from Phil. 6 from Richard. Ian saying 6. 7 from James. 5 from Will. Boly was offside when he headed the ball across from Yates. 6. That's a good point. He needs to work on that. That's twice now he's cost Yates a goal. 5 from Gabriel. I don't remember hearing Boly mentioned after the first 5 minutes, says Keith. That's what I'm saying. I didn't really notice him. I don't think that's a bad thing to not notice a defender. Boly was slightly dragged out of position for the goal. Even Lodi was pointing to him to move back over. Okay, so it feels like from what you guys are saying, it's like a 5-6 for Boly. I'm just going to go with the 6. I still think he is a starter for us, but we still do need to replace him, if that makes sense. Like, he hasn't got the pace for me. He's a unit. With Niakate next to him, I think he could be quite good, though. I do. That's just my opinion. All right, let's move on to Lodi. I thought Lodi started really well. Hold on, let me just actually get Lodi up. So many buttons I got to play with here. Okay. Where are you, Lod? Lodi! Lodi! Logi. I gotta call him Logi. I keep forgetting. All right, found him. All right, Logi. Started off really, really well, I thought. I thought him, Morgan Gibbs-White, and Mangala in the first 5 to 10 minutes was starting to put some stuff together. But then he just faded away. And then I've got to say, I've got him at fault as well for the goal. I feel that he shouldn't have got outpaced. He's quick, man. He shouldn't have got outpaced by whoever that winger was, that bellend from Boringmouth. And you got to say that they dominated us on both flanks in terms of when it came to the counter-attacks. He's not like fully at fault for the goal, but he's got to take at least 20 to 30% responsibility for me. Like somewhere in that zone for it. I don't know, man. I don't know. It wasn't his best game. I think we can all agree on that. This is a tough one. I think he's like a 5 for me. About a 5. Just below average. At fault for the goal. Started well. He did kind of come back to it in the second half, though. When Scarpa came on and there was that Brazilian tricombon down the left-hand side with him, Danilo, and Scarpinia, I kind of did enjoy that a bit. I'm going to go 5. I'm going to go 5. I don't want to get too excited. My God, I'm seeing some low scores from you guys, some corner of my eye. I'm going to go 5 for Lodi. 30% of the goal, 25% of the goal blame goes on him for getting done for pace, which is not like him. But let's see what you guys think. Let's see what you guys think. Where are we? Where are we? All right, so 4 from Southpaw. Random saying Lodi's positioning was poor for the goal conceded. Boly was pulled wide and left Worral alone. 6 from Stone. 5 from Martin. 5 from Phil. Gerard saying 6. Lodi was good at times but not consistent. 5 from Tim. 5 from Chris. 2 from David. Bloody hell. Jan saying a 6. Stoney giving him a 4. 6 from Richard. 5.571 from Phil. Chocolblock saying Lodi was good in the game in general, but partly at fault for the goal. 5.5. 8 from Chris. Going forward. 4 defensively. Sean says Lodi was best of the back today. 7.5. Keith saying Boly's a unit. McKenna is a moon unit. Mark saying Logi. Yeah, I gotta keep calling him Logi. Logi was really good first half, but dropped off a 7. JP saying Lodi was inconsistent, a 6. Gabrielle giving Lodi a 4. 6 from Nick, 6.5 from Mark. Logi was bright at the start. Defining moment, the goal, so 4. I'll shout out a few of the free seaters. Gregory giving him an 8. Fernando a 7. Peter saying left side was rubbish, but I'll give him a 5. Gabrielle saying similar to the Wolves goal. David saying Logi didn't close down. I really exposed a 2. 2 from the Walking Boom. Who have I got here? Ian's giving him a 5. Shanghai Noon saying is 5. Is logical. Chimpzilla, sorry, saying 6. And Will 5. Southpaw saying, let's be honest, disappointing in the performance overall, but the point saved us. Yeah, I mean, if we didn't get that point, I would be losing my shit right now. I really would. Anyway, let's move on from Lodi. And let's move on to... I mean, Yates... I mean, he went off injured. Hold on, where is he? He went off injured, but I didn't think he was playing well, if I'm being honest, in that first half. I thought we got overrun in the midfield quite a bit. Especially after that VAR, man. After that VAR, we just got overrun. It's harsh to talk about him because obviously he came off injured. I don't know what the knock is. I've seen nothing on it yet. Let's not waste too much time on Yates. Let's just go for a standard issue. Treat him as if he came on as a sub and just go with a 5. But I do feel he was a little off his usual kind of pace. Was he carrying that injury from the Leicester game? Don't know. It kind of looked a bit like he did. All right, Freuler. I think most of you are saying 5, to be honest. Just quickly scanning through the comments there. Let's move on to Freuler. Again, I thought he was the usual kind of ghost. We're calling him the ghost in the first half. But in the second half, when we got... For God's sake, let me just get these pictures up. I keep forgetting. All right, rating clear. Clear, Yates. Clear. Bring on the conductor. So look, overall, he was quite invisible in the first half. As always, he will look different when you're at the stadium. But I thought when Danilo came on, there was a bit of that tramline work that I've been telling you guys about where one would sit and one would go forward. Yeah, it's just one of those ones. At the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half, him and Danilo were sitting too deep. It wasn't until Scarpinia comes on and starts to control that midfield. So I think, Freuler overall, average game, okay, didn't make any mistakes, did move the ball around a bit, got no real problem with his performance. But what I do like, what I really like, is that Freuler-Danilo combo. If they could sit in a 2, I know you guys are against it, but I've been right on everything else. And trust me, I'm right on this one. Freuler and Danilo should be the 2 with then Scarpinia, MG Dub, and Jono is the 3 in front, and then definitely not Deadwood up front. I'd literally put Surridge in ahead of him, but Owoni obviously when he comes fit. I've seen a few disappointed things in the chat with you guys, but it's hard to judge him because it's his off the ball work that gets missed. I'm not saying you guys are wrong to score him low. I'm gonna give him a 6. I like him. I just like him. And I like the work he does. I'm sorry, you guys probably going to disagree, but I like the work he does in that pitch. But it is not his fault that he is still being played too deep. That's the point of all of this. So I'm going to go for a 6 for Freuler. Let's see what you guys are saying. Okay, there's some varying numbers here. George saying 7, he does all the invisible work. I do agree with that. Mark saying Yates was clearly not at his best today. They said he was suffering with dizziness. I'm sorry, but then if that's the case, he shouldn't have been played. He shouldn't have been played. It cost us a substitution, and it meant that Cooper couldn't do his Mangala substitution on his own. Sorry, let's carry on with these. Nick saying a 6, Chris saying a 6, 7 from Phil, 6 from Kwame, 4 from Richard the Walking Boom, 6 from Richard. Freuler was terrible, says Tim, at 3. Cazinio saying a 6. He sits way too deep. I fully agree with that point, but I think he's told to sit that deep. Mary Kane is giving him a 5. Keith saying my favorite player, Freuler. Hope he gels with Danilo. Jan saying a 5. I can't talk anymore. Freuler a 5 from David. 7 from Sean. Forrest Adams saying Yatesy coming off, so we've read that one. JP saying Freuler must have around 100k covering Aurier, at least 6 or maybe 7. Mark saying Freuler was solid at 6. He's very divisive amongst you guys. He is. And then Gerard saying Freuler terrible. Would rather have O'Brien. He gets a 2. Chocolate saying Freuler invisible again. What can I say? Not sure how to score him. Someone pick a number for me. Yeah. I knew he'd divide you guys. I knew he would. The Walking Boom saying Scarpa a 6. Danilo a 6. Surridge a 10. You're getting way ahead of us. And then the screen, as always, jumped. So I don't know where I got to. Forrest Dan giving him a 6. Chris giving him a 7. David giving him a 5. Ian says, I think low scores are unfair. I think low scores are unfair. He played slightly out of position. I think 6s are fair. There you go, Ian. Me and you are on the same wavelength. And Boris, I'm going to shout Boris out, but because me and Boris think alike. What's he said? Freuler is always terrible for someone. He was fine and always is. Freuler is always terrible for some. Sorry. Comma Boris there. He was fine and always is. Again, me and Boris just on that level. And Alan saying solid 6, covered a lot of the pitch. Okay, Mangala. Let's move on to Mangala. Mangala. Where are you, Aurier Mangala? Let's bring him up. I thought Mangala was better than he's been in the last few games. I still don't understand why he gets 60 minutes because it's clear. It's been 4 or 5 games now where he's subbed off. It's like you can set your clock by it. You can set, an alarm to it. You could, if you could bet on what minute players are going to get subbed off, maybe someone in the Forest training staff has money on Mangala coming off in the 60th minute. Don't know. Look, I thought he was better than he was against Leicester and Southampton. But I don't think he's match fit, man. I don't think he's... Sorry, Choco-Block. It was 59 minutes, was it? I don't think he's match fit. And I don't understand why he's being played. For me, he needs to be taken off until he's fully match fit. And I'd put Danilo in. I would 100% put Danilo in. I'm going to give him a 5. He didn't do any of his trademark lately misplaced passes that I can remember. Maybe I'm wrong. But I'm going to give him a 5. You guys are so going to disagree. I still like him. I still think there's a player in him. I'm giving him a 5. Screw all of you. Screw all y'all. I'm going to 5 for Mangala. Because I don't think it's his fault he's playing. He shouldn't be playing. What are you guys saying? You guys are going to absolutely trounce me with these, aren't you? Okay, Phil giving him a 4.5. Not impressed today. 5 from Martin. Martin, I like you. Choco Block saying 4. Invisible, apart from a bad pass. I saw it. Did he do a bad pass? I didn't see it. Tim saying to give 10 is embarrassing. Who gave 10? Patrick saying 10. Honestly, strongest player on the pitch. Interesting. Chris saying a 4. The Mangala is a 6 for Mark. 5 from JP. Jan saying Mangala 4. Hardly remember him keeping the ball. You guys, he was doing a lot of work in the first 20 minutes. This is what I'm saying. And he was moving the ball. I think you guys are being a bit harsh. I think you guys are being a little harsh. Or maybe I'm being too nice. Don't know. David said 4.5, not great today. 6 from Nick. Marie Kane is saying 6, has played better games. Choco-Block saying he didn't get 60 minutes, 59. Read that one. Sean saying a 5, still not his best since the injury. Yeah, it's an injury. He's been unlucky, hasn't he? The injury, then the sending off against Spurs and all that. Mangala getting worse each match, says Tim, of 4. I don't know about Mangala, says Southport, of 4. Keith saying, I heard a terrible pass reaction from Wolverine again. Was he giving the ball away? I can't remember, man. I don't want to remember that match. Ez giving him a 6. Richard giving him a 5.5. Mark 4 giving him a 5. A lot of you seem to agree he's not been the same since the injury. And saying Steve Cooper needs to make a firm decision which one of Freuler and Danilo sit deep. There was times where both were sitting deep, and that's wrong. I agree with that, but it changed, and once Scarpa came on the pitch. Once he came on the pitch, suddenly you saw them, doing that. Will's giving him a 6. Rich is saying, the weird thing is we are giving midfielders lower scores today, and they had a higher amount of possession. Yeah, I know, but I felt we got overrun in the midfield. I don't know about you guys, but I felt we got overrun in the midfield. I really do. Random saying agree with Ant, but I don't think either are that player. Danilo can do it, and Freuler needs to be released. That's just my opinion. All right, let's move on from that. Let's talk about Jono. Let's bring up Jono. Jono, as I stall for time while I look for the Jono picture, and I have found it. There we go. Jono, for me, is turning into a 45-minute player. I didn't think he was good first half. I thought he was brilliant second half. And for me, I'm wondering if he becomes he seems to be, his fitness seems to be quite strong, because you could tell when the Bournemouth defense were tiring, that's when he came into his own. First half, didn't think he was that great. Didn't think he lifted his head enough when there was some crosses on when he took a shot. I remember a chance in the first half. Second half, much more impressive. Excuse me. Now, with him being a second half player now in back-to-back games, because again, if you really are objective about the Leicester match in the last game, he wasn't good in the first half, he was sensational in the second half. Maybe we do use him as a sub, because Ant said it a few times, but I think Ant's flip-flopping and wants to start him full stop now. I think he's getting better. That will be my kind of starting thing with there. He's getting better, but he's not stringing 90 minutes together. I'm just being straight with you guys. And you all know I love Jono before you start killing me in the chat. The assist was brilliant. He was getting in behind in the second half. The first half, he wasn't great. I'm going to give Jono overall, I would give him like a 4.5 in the first half and a 7.5 in the second half. I'm going to meet somewhere in the middle, and I'm going to give him a 6. Because I got to balance it out. So for me, Jono was a 6. The assist was lovely. I'm going with a 6. And then let's bring him up here. Oh shit, that's not right. All right, there we go, 6. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Blub, 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 blub. Okay, Martin saying a 6. Phil saying Jono lit up in the second half. 7.5. Phil saying midfield was nowhere to be seen. Breaking news. Richard says ex-Bournemouth player Surridge shuts up 3 fans. Jan giving him a 6. Peter giving him a 6. David saying Jono 5. First half was 2. Richard giving him a 7. Main threat going forward. Choco-Block saying Jono, one of his better games, a 7. Sean giving him a 6. George giving him a 7. Jono a 7 from Mark. Phil saying scoring tough today because generally poor performance. Yeah, it is. We gotta be real. Yeah, I'm really happy about the point from where we are sitting. I really am. But we should have trounced them. They were crap, man. Phil saying score 6.5. Sorry, from Tom. Southpaw saying Jono needs to play as an impact sub away from home to get those assists. Saying Shanghai Noon giving him a 7. Mark giving him a 6. Gerard saying Jono possibly our best today. Gave them a hard time. The words won't come out of my mouth. And Gerard's giving him a 9. Ant's giving him a 7, getting there. Nick saying if he crosses that ball, it's a goal. That said, at times he's shown his brilliance. An 8. Immortal Wolf giving him a 7. Keith saying so many of us say what a great impact sub he could be. Simon saying Boly the beast with the headed block and not flinching was good. As the chat jumps again, David says Jono wastes too many chances in the first half. You can't rate him higher than a 5 or 6. David, I have not. Alan saying Jono was much better in the second half, a 7. Second half player says the walking boom gives him a 7. Will again saying second half 7. Sharky giving him a 6. Southpaw saying 5.6. JP saying it's 7 anyway. Still playing in patches, but he created the goal. Marie Kane saying Wolverine, I don't get how you can rate Freuler so much and be so hard on Jono. At least an 8 for me. It's just my opinion. I mean, I gave them both the same score. James saying Jono is 7. Dino is late to the party as always. Welcome aboard, Dino. Sai saying was important to not lose today and now go into a 2-week Premier League break in a good place. Tim saying a 5 from Jono. Ez giving Jono a 7. All right, that's Jono done. Okay, should we talk about Wood? I really am not looking forward to doing this because I know you guys are going to start with your Wood comments. And I probably am as well. I must confess. It's just too tempting not to do it. But Chris Wood. All the Newcastle fans that are laughing about Chris Wood. Yeah. Firstly, can I just say, before we get into talking about Wood, there's 300 of you odd in here, and we're on 82 likes. Can we just quickly get over 100 likes so I can stop whining on about it, and we can just get on with talking about this? So, hit that like button. Let's quickly get over 100 likes. And we got a debate. We got to have a master debate on Wood. I've told you all week I've been on the fence on it. We're on 97 now. 3 more, just if you'd be kind enough to hit that like. Thank you very much. I've been on the fence, on the wooden fence all week, and I just wasn't impressed. Now, firstly, I think he was played out of position for a start. Secondly, why the hell was he chucked into the team when he hasn't even trained with the Forest team? He is not a goddamn, I don't know, Mbappe that you've just signed the day before and you got to chuck him straight in. He's not good enough, man, to be chucked straight in. It's just, that one baffled me for a start. But overall, I said it on a video the other day. One of my worries was that he comes in and ends up slowing the attack too much because he's got 0 pace. He is literally the New Zealand Weghorst as far as I'm concerned. But don't start him, man. Don't start him. Don't know. That for me knocks a few points off Cooper for starting him. Overall in the game, didn't really notice him. The only time I noticed him was when the camera had to slow down when it was panning. It was like going like that. It's like, oh shit, no, we're moving too fast. And then they had to slow down, bring the camera back around as it slowly tried to keep up with Wood. I don't like a slow striker. It's just me. Maybe it's because I like, pacey ones on FIFA or something. But he was crap, man. And Newcastle fans that were laughing in the chat, please remember, you will not get 15 million for this guy because he's going to have to score goals and we're going to have to avoid relegation. Now, obviously, we'll avoid relegation, but I don't see him scoring the goals if I'm being straight with you. Maybe I'm judging too early, but I've seen enough from him today. He was shit. I'm going to give him a 3. Like, I would have expected him to, bully the defenders a bit. I saw him falling over more than them falling over. I'm giving him a 3. I don't like that style of striker, but that's just me. I like Brazilian football, you know what I'm saying? Oh, bloody hell, you all are putting your opinions in on Wood. This could take a while. Get the popcorn out. All right, where we got here? 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 All right, so Sly saying the guest on Sky Sports Saturday special social pissed me off, saying Gibbs-White and Jono should leave Forest because they are too good for Forest. They're all bellends on Sky Sports. Marie Kane not impressed, giving him a 5. David saying Chris Wood a 0 or a 1. Keith saying I can't help feeling for Wood. Peter saying a 5. Jan saying jump the gun. Martin giving Wood a 4. 2 from George. Alan saying Wood gave a semi-performance today. I just knew you lot. Giving him a 5. Choco Block saying 2. This man bought my house off me and knocked me down in price. Genuine. Seriously. Interesting. Dino. Wood. It's nice to see someone in the 6-yard box for a change, but poor touches of 4. Miski saying Surridge to play over Wood every day of the week. Give the lad a run around. You lot are so freaking flip-floppy, man. After the Blackpool match, you lot are saying sell Surridge. After today, you lot are saying Surridge is the next Mbappe. Can't keep up with you lot. Wood is a 3 from Phil, only because he's out of position. Gerard saying Chris Deadwood today a 3. Sean saying I feel for him, playing totally out of position. Wood a 5. Jan saying Wood 6 shouldn't be starting yet. George saying 2 can't play him though. James saying 50 million for Wood. Newcastle have proper had our pants down. Terrible, a 3. Mark saying Wood didn't really get any service and it was a bit unfair to chuck him in without even training with the squad. Thank you, Mark, for that atrocious spelling, but I was able to read through it. Stephen saying frustrating to watch, felt like a loss. Need to get my head to accept the away point. I know what you're saying. Nick saying shouldn't have been picked for the team, let alone start. Seems to have not kicked a ball with his new teammates. A 3. Walking Boom going 0. Wood was as limp as erectile dysfunction. You lot, I swear to God. Here comes Sharky, a good 5 inches, points. First game out position, crazy. Cooper. Simon F saying 3, but probably wondering why he played, given he signed less than 24 hours ago. Mark saying awful, a 1. Simon saying Wood has not had a single training session yet. Give him time. He is not match sharp. Simon loves Wood. He really, really does. And he loves tall, long Wood from New Zealand, sorry. So Simon's going to defend his boy. Marie Kane says, agree. Why did he start so early? No clue. Southpaw saying Cooper's blueprint of the day. Tom saying give him a 4. Should have been given time to train first, which wasn't his fault. It really doesn't make sense. We'll talk about it when we get to Cooper. 1 from Richard saying, had I known the second half would be so boring, I would have pulled Wood off at half time. Prefer Sam Surridge, to be honest, says Gerard. Simon saying with Simon J, can't write him off yet. Needs to train with the team. Shanghai Noon saying, so no Wood emoji anytime soon. Don't know. Southpaw saying should have played the last 10 minutes. Played the last 10 minutes, if that. A 4. 4 from Mark. 2 from someone as my bloody screen jumped up, man. Mike, there's so many Wood comments. You guys love talking about Wood, don't you? Will said Wood. Honestly, can't recall him. 2. Ian saying, I think Cooper started him because he assumed he would score plenty of goals and thought he'd be off the mark quickly and get confidence. JP saying 4 for Wood. The call to start him backfired from Cooper. Miski saying a 4. I think Cooper read the stat about Wood that he scored on every debut and he thought, well, if we can score 1 goal, we should win this match. Shabazz saying Wood is such a dull signing. He didn't do the one thing he's asked to do, which is hold the ball up and let others. That's true. Not possible to rate him more than a 2. Phil saying so slow. And then Forrest Dan saying, to be fair to Wood, he had atrocious service, virtually nothing for him to attack. Having said that, I give him a 2 today. Thought you're being fair to Wood. Dino saying Cooper will have to play him, I think, due to the deal in place. I bet Newcastle have a clause in place to play him for so many games. They surely can't do that. Here we go, Shipstones. Wood lacked penetration up front. Chuckle Block saying Chris Wood owns a chain of houses across Britain. Okay. Ez says, I think I'll judge Wood in the morning. Very funny. Nick saying maybe if he doesn't play, we were obligated to buy. Keith saying wood firing punks. I can't do this. I can't do any more wood jokes. No more. Please. Phil saying, what was Cooper thinking of? Untrained. Richard saying a 2-yard screamer from Surridge. Don't knock it. Reminds me. Oh, for God's sake. Dino saying reminded me of Woody from Toys. All right, that's it. I'm not doing any more wood. That's it. We're done with wood. I am done with wood. That's it. I'm not talking about the player. Well, I kind of am done with him as well. I'm talking about the wood jokes. Let's move on. And wait, what did I give him again? A 3, wasn't it? Someone remind me. All right, we gave Wood up front a 3. Let's move on to Morgan Gibbs-White. If Morgan Gibbs-White would stop taking corners, he's the best player on the pitch. He really is. Stop it, Sean. I'm not reading it out. I'm not reading it out. I thought the first half, he was the only one who could really come off and hold his head up high. He was good, man. He was good. Stop it, Ian. Stop. No more. No more. Best player on the pitch, first half. Probably a joint best player on the pitch, second half. I love my boy Morgan Gibbs-White. I just love him. I love him. He's playing at the moment, even when everyone else around him is playing shit. He's picking the ball up and he's trying to drive something forward. He's good. And to all the Wolves fans who wanted to laugh about his price tag, screw you. We got the better player. You guys enjoy Guedes, yeah, that you're trying to offload to Barcelona. You're begging Barcelona to take him. When you had this guy, you idiots. Wolves, you're so stupid. No wonder you can't hear shit. Because he's better than any player you've got by a mile. Maybe not Neves, but everyone else. I thought he was good, man. His chip for the goal was sensational. Just chipped it over. It wasn't a lob. It was a nice little chip. It was like an L1 on FIFA. Chip, bang, over the top. It goes beautiful. Beautiful. I'm going to give Morgan Gibbs-White an 8 out of 10. I was impressed with him. Love him. You guys are all going to say I'm wrong now, aren't you? But I don't care because he is. I'm sorry. He's one of our most consistent players. All right, let's run through the Morgan Gibbs-White. There better be nothing but love for my boy MGW here. And I don't care if you think I have MGW goggles. I admit to them. But I'm still objective when I come to it. Oh, fucking hell. Sharky looked a bit stiff in the box. Seriously. Anyway. Mark saying, having my dinner. MGW9 Sam at 10. Forest Dan says, I can guarantee if Wood had not played today and Forest failed to score everything, Forest fans would have slated Cooper for not playing him. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. What's your point, Ant? We can say what we want. We're the fans. Obviously, we know better after the match. Like, what? Anyway. Not reading that, Gerard. Martin saying 7 for MG Dub. MG Dub 7 from Chuck. 8 from Phil. Nick saying MG Dub was head and shoulders above. He was that good. Even Bertels praised him an 8. Ian saying you couldn't see. I'm not reading it anymore. Shipstone saying Gibbo. Okay. Jan saying Gibbs-White 7, best player today in an underperforming team. Rich saying, okay, we need to talk about why Cooper keeps putting target men wide. Yeah. We'll get on to that. 8 from Simon F. 8 from David. Dino saying he has 2 brothers, Ed and Woods. Ed, what? No, Dino, no. That's not even funny. Pia giving him a 7. Tim giving him a 7.5. 8 from Shanghai Noon. JP saying MG Dub is 7. Look, the only guy trying to invent something. I agree with that. Sean saying man of the match for Forest an 8. Dino saying 8.5 for MG Dub. Played well all game. Stone saying he should teach the Wood how to. No, not reading it. Gerard saying MG Dub poor today by his own standards. Missed too many passes, but better than some 7. Interesting take there by Gerard. James saying MG Dub is a serious player. Just give Scarpa a go. at set pieces. I fully agree with that, man. Tom saying 7 for me, best player on the pitch. Should have taken that shot just inside the box. Yeah, the one where he laid it off to Jono. Yeah, but I kind of see what he was doing. He just needed a little more pace on the pass. Ian saying he come good now. He's getting better. I just love him. I just love Morgan Gibbs-White, man. MG Dub, breath of fresh air on the pitch, says well 7.5 from Mark. And then the screen jumps. And then the screen jumps. 8 from Morgan Gibbs-White from James. 7 from Marie Kane. George saying 7 MG Dub's ball handling is better when he's playing without. Nearly, George. Nearly read it. Richard giving him 7. Tried to take something out. Okay. All right. You lot are hilarious. Brindley an 8. 7 from Southpaw. Ez is giving him an 8.5. You lot, man. Seriously. 7 from Martin. Forrestan saying, love MG Dub, but please don't let him near free kicks or corners. That Scarpa's the main. Fully agree. Southpaw saying, sorry, Ez, it was 4. What? I don't know what you lot are talking about. Sharky giving him an 8. Keith saying, it sounded like he was our best player by far. He was. Lynn saying an 8. Sean, no. Let's move on. Let's very quickly race through some of the subs, if I can even remember them. Okay, I do want to talk about a few of the subs. I don't know if I can be asked to do all of them, to be honest. I'm starving. All right, Danilo. We got to talk about Danilo. We really do. I like him. I liked him when we signed him. I still like him now. Even with his nips, I still like him. Where is he? Okay. Look at that nip, man. I had to use that. I'm sorry, I had to use that picture. Can you look at that picture and not laugh? I just don't know. I don't know. Fantastic picture. Look, he was a little bit like rabbit in the headlights for the first 5-6 minutes, yeah, before the halftime, and then a few after halftime. And then he just settled in. He crunches into those tackles. He wins the ball. He's even passing quite well. I remember a nice spread ball out wide to Aurier, and then Aurier messed it up. I like him, man. And for me, I know I'm probably jumping the gun a bit, but I put him straight in the Leeds match. I really do. I like him. I like him a lot. As they say in Dumb and Dumber, I like him a lot. He might be the key to unlocking Freuler. For all you Freuler haters, man. Very funny, Keith. Very funny. For all you Freuler, well, not haters. I know you guys don't hate Freuler. For those of you who have doubts about Freuler, watch what Danilo will do to release Freuler. If they listen to us or me or whoever agrees with me on a 4-2-3-1, they are strong enough between him and Freuler to hold the 2 in the middle with the 3 in front of them, which turns it into a 5. Trust me on it. I like him. I'm going to give him like, if he had started, I'd give him an 8, but because he was a sub, we got to use the sub rule. I'm going to give him a 7. I was impressed. Very impressed with him. I'm going to give Danilo a 7. I'm seeing a lot of 7 and 8s. Guys, I'm sorry. I know you're members and everything. I haven't got the spit left in my mouth to read all of those out, but I'm reading through them as they come up, and I'm just seeing 7 and 8s all around for him. I don't see anyone who's disagreeing with that kind of score. Okay, next one was, oh yeah, we got to do the next one. The next one. How high do I rate him is the question. Scarpa, of course, that we're talking about. I mean, I'm always happy to give Scarpa a 10. Yeah, but man, the emoji looks absolutely sick on Danilo. You lot putting it in there. It's freaking fire. If you guys want those emojis, don't forget, you get them as members, silver or gold. From 99p, you get those emojis. I think Scarpa was an important substitution because it stopped. What the key thing Scarpa did when he came on, he stopped Danilo and Freuler both double sitting back, which was causing a bit of an issue, right? So that for me was a problem. When Scarpa came on, he just said, give me the ball. Give me the ball. And the passes, oh my God. I mean, Wood came on after it, but when Scarpa was on, there was Wood literally on the pitch, man. Oh, how did he not start? How was he dropped and Deadwood put in front of him? It's just, ugh. Anyway, he has to be on corners. He has to be on free kicks. Full stop, end of, no discussion, nothing to say about it. I'm just giving him an 8. An 8, and only because he was a sub. If he'd started, he'd be getting his standard 10 from me. There's a lot of you guys giving him 7s and a few 8s. I don't think anyone's giving him anything lower. Yeah, the late cross ball and turned the game around. 8 says Will. Key says it sounded like some ace distribution. All of a sudden, yeah, he's brilliant. Mark giving him an 8. He's class. He's fantastic. He's fantastic. The only other one that I'm going to bring up is Sam Surridge, because I know you guys want to. So for those of you who hated Sam Surridge, who now love him, what are you guys giving him? I mean, it was a tapping goal. Yeah, let's be real. It was an important tapping goal. Don't get me wrong. James, you're giving him a 10. A 10. A 10. Tom's giving him a 10. Sorry, I'm just lifting my jaw off the ground. 10. No. Sorry, no. He gets, for me, a 7 because it was an important goal. He nearly was offside for it. I mean, if you haven't seen the goal yet, don't forget, if you remember, it's in the community tab. But fuck me, I'm sorry to swear. 10. Peter's got 10. Nah, he's a 7. I'm sorry, he's a 7. He's a good fin. I mean, come on. Even Ez could have scored that one. I mean, let's be honest. As long as he's 9.9. All right, Brinley, 9.9 is. I'm giving him a 7, guys. I'm playing the sub rule. He scored a good goal. I got nothing against him. I don't think he's Prem level. Wait, I wonder what Simon gave him. Sam with his first Premier League goal did well. Simon, what did you give him? I can't be asked to scroll back up. Because Simon really loves Surridge. Yeah, JP, exactly. I mean, he's offside a lot. I'll give him a 7 for the goal. Okay, I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it. I know he wasn't offside. There is such a thing as nearly offside, Tony. What do you mean? There's no such thing as not nearly offside. Of course there is. You're either really onside, or you're offside, or you're nearly offside. Simon, the sub rule did apply to Scarpa, mate. If Scarpa was started, he would have got a 10. It's just I had to knock Scarpa down too. Richard saying Surridge isn't Premier League quality, but I would always take him over Wood. Can't really give a sub more than 7 or 8. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Thank you. I agree with that. Ez wouldn't have got there. I reckon Ez would have got there. You lot are harsh on Ez. Is he better than Wood? Should we do a quick poll? This is going to be interesting because I remember the get rid of Sams. Yeah, I'm not going to name any names, but I remember what you all said. All right, who's better, Surridge or Wood? Get your answers in. Get your answers in. We'll do a quick fire poll here, so get them in. And don't forget to hit the like. Man, there's 300 of you in here and 128 likes. You lot should be ashamed of yourselves, those who haven't hit the like. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. All right, so there's the poll for Surridge versus... Oh my God. If I'd run that poll after Blackpool, I guarantee you it would have been the other way around. You of little memory. You're like goldfish. All of you. All of you. Anyway, the other subs... I'm just going to give him a 5. The other subs were McKenna. McKenna was like, he actually looked crap when he came on. Nico Williams, I thought was okay. I'd probably give him more a 6. McKenna, I'd give him a 4 or a 5, to be honest. Oh, yeah, George. Yeah, you always backed him. I remember what you said about him after Blackpool. Okay, let's move on to Cooper. And then don't go anywhere because we're going to do the man of the match in a poll. Let's bring up Cooper. There's a few points that need to be discussed here. I'll close this poll now. 84% of you saying Surridge is better than Wood. I can't wait to ask you the same question if Wood ever scores. And then we'll see what you lot say, you fickle bunch. You fickle bunch. All right, let's talk about Coops. Coops, for me, big mistake starting Wood. You can all say hindsight all you want. Don't really care. I'm just calling what I'm seeing. He's never done it before. He didn't do an MG dub when we signed him. He used him as a sub. And that was his boy. He used him as a sub in the Everton match. The other thing I'd say about it, the other reason that surprised me is Wood isn't exactly a starter for Newcastle. So coming on to start straight away for Forest, that'd be weird. That was weird for me. You know, if it was like Wilson that we had signed, who does start quite a bit, you could kind of understand that. Formation was wrong. Even Wood playing what seemed to be out wide. I don't know if I'm just seeing that, but he was out wide on the left quite a lot. I don't know if Cooper's anti a striker being a striker or what. It's weird. It's really, really weird. What did he get? And I don't like that he dropped Scarpa. I mean, that's just a personal opinion. That's just me. The other thing I would say is his subs. Let's talk about his subs. Did he get the subs right? This Mangala sub thing is starting to annoy me. Because if he can't do 90 minutes, don't start him. The Ryan Yates sub was forced on injury. I'm just running through these. Williams for Serge Aurier. If I'm honest with you guys, I would not have waited till the 75th minute to do it because Aurier was pretty poo, as we've discussed. Yeah, I would have taken him off well before that. The McKenna for Boly, that would have been on fitness for Boly coming back. So that again isn't tactical. And the Surridge for Wood one at 75th minute wasn't exactly a shape change, was just a like for like replacement. Deadwood for Rottingwood, as you guys would refer to him. So overall, the substitutions, I don't think impacted the game too much in terms of it being a tactical substitution. Half of those were for players playing shit or for injuries. And I honestly think it is 2 points missed out on because we should. Bournemouth, let me just remind you, Bournemouth haven't scored since before the World Cup. But let's talk about the positives. These are the type of games that we may have folded in before. These are the type of games away from home where you need to grind a result. But we should have won. But this away form and the way performances is seriously starting to worry me. They're all gritty and ugly, or we're getting our pants pulled down. There seems to be no, and we even had more possession today. Adam, technically we won without VAR. Yeah, potentially. I'm going to give Cooper a 6 out of 10. If we hadn't got a point, it would have been a 3. I'll be straight with you guys, but I'm giving him a 6. See what you guys are saying. I'm just going to shout a few out. I hope you guys don't mind. I can feel my mouth drying. And I want to get on to your guys' man of the match. 5 from Mark for starting Wood. Quality players have to serve their time on the bench. It's, you know what? Another point on that is we played really well in the second half against Leicester. Now, subject to injuries, why wouldn't you go with the same team? Again, that kind of baffles me a little. Sandy, good to see you, saying Cooper only a 4 today, still seeming out of his league. Southpaw saying away games seem to be Cooper's Achilles heel, a 6. Let me shout out a few more of these. David giving him a 4 or a 5. How the hell did he get a 6? I don't know, because we got a point. That's the only reason. I told you, a 6 for the point, a 3 had we lost that match. At best, it would have been a 3. Okay, let's get the man of the match done, right? How are we doing this, guys? Who's your candidates? I mean, on the board here, it would be Gibbs-White, Johnson. I guess you guys want Surridge in there. And should we chuck Scarpa there? Because I want to chuck Scarpa in there. I'm pretty sure it's going to be heavily in one player's favor. But let's go with that shortlist. Let's go with that shortlist, right? Let's go with man of the match. So we got Jono. Scarpa. I love Scarpa. MG Dub. Who did I say the fourth one was? Oh, we'll put Surridge on. We'll put Surridge on so you guys don't cry. All right, man of the match incoming. Get your votes in for man of the match. Let's leave that open for about a minute. Okay, here we go. Jono's taking an early lead. First person in the vote went for Jono. Now MG Dub suddenly flies back into the lead. 60% on Jono. Scarpa's getting 20%. Surridge on 18%, as already 50 have voted. Scarpa, oh, MG Dub moving up and down a little on 56%. And as they come into the final furlong, Scarpa goes into 17%. Surridge overtakes Scarpa. No, Scarpa fights back. They're both on 18%, but it's looking like MG Dub is going to come through the final few furlongs well into the lead. He's currently on 52%. Jono down to 9%, losing some energy as Scarpa and Surridge cannot be separated on 18%. 20 more votes waiting for before we close it as MG Dub takes a slight further lead at 55%. 18 for Scarpa, 18 for Surridge, 10 for Jono, 55 going once, going twice. We're about to close the vote as Surridge just nudges in front of Scarpa, but Scarpa comes back. It's 18 apiece. Surridge takes the lead on Scarpa, and we will close the vote in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your man of the match is... Oh, man, I should really have prepared this bit before. This bit should have been prepared before. Your man of the match goes to, by a comfortable margin, Morgan Gibbs-White. Let's see it for Morgan Gibbs-White. Can we get the Morgan Gibbs-White emojis in the chat, as it should have been way more comfortable than 53% or whatever it was from you guys. So just to confirm, the official stats on that poll were 52% Morgan Gibbs-White, 19% Sam Surridge, 18% Scarpinia, 9% Jono. Flood the chat with those emojis. I love it. Let's see them. Let's see those MG Dub emojis. We love you, Morgan Gibbs-White. You are today's Forest Fan TV official Man of the Match award, and to you goes this half-empty bottle. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I don't know if you enjoyed the game. Thank you for helping as always with the player ratings. I've actually feel better now we've sat down as a little Forest family and run through all that. I'll close by saying this. I'm loving these emojis. They look, wrong button, you idiot. There we go. Please don't forget to hit the like if you've enjoyed the content today. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new here. We've smashed over 100 new subscribers today. Thank you all to everyone who's subscribed, and thank you all who have become a member today. Quick shout outs to the likes of Daniel, to Paul, to Sarah, to Alistair, to Venlen, to Sid, to the Chewy, to Vic, to Nomad for his renewal, Townsend for his upgrades to gold, Jack Kemp, Adam Shelton. We got over 250 members. You guys are unreal with the support you are bringing to this channel. I love you all. I am absolutely shattered and knackered. It's rising chocolate block, and it's all thanks to you guys. We got so much more content coming out. We've got Grumpy Old Reds Live tomorrow, where we will dissect this match. You know it's going to get ugly because we ain't going to be like some others and sit on the fence. We'll talk straight about the performance and what it means. I hope you've enjoyed it. There's some member content, I think, coming up this week. I'll check with the rest of the FFTV team. But I am starving and I really need to find a drink because I'm really thirsty. The good news is we'll finish on a high. Thanks to the late goal by Sam Surridge. Boring mouth. Enjoy being in the bottom three. We'll see you on the next video.